Captain's vlog. We are back here again. And so, if you have been following recent news, I mean about my life, not necessarily anything that is happening right now. I've been in a creative drive for a dry season for maybe 3 weeks or so, maybe a bit more. Because there were a lot of emotions and stuff coming to the surface, like anger, like I said in the last video, and I guess other emotions, like a huge jumble of emotions coming to the surface. And so when these come, it's like what to do. You don't have a lot of options other than assessing what's happening and looking at those emotions and trying to figure out what the hell is happening. And so I guess I've been doing that. Sometimes in a more easy way, sometimes I guess I was kind of fighting the place where I was at and being like, why am I feeling this right now? Because there's a lot of things that I've been feeling that they just seem to not be necessarily related to anything, or then sometimes there are little triggers here and there, the little situations that just trigger a bigger emotion in me because I've been feeling a bit all over the place lately, and then it just everything gets bigger. And in those small moments of reflection that I have, those tiny glimpses where I'm calm enough to kind of observe what's happening, kind of observe what I'm feeling or not, and thinking about these situations, there were some insights that I had that I kind of wanted to share. Being one of them, maybe one of the biggest ones, um, the thought of how all of this is so cyclical, and we know this is cyclical, like going in an upward spiral as we continue to we're kind of always following somewhat the same topics. It's like a cycle, but a cycle that goes forward. It evolves, it changes, even if it's bit by bit. And so I kind of have lately been keeping very present the idea that when I'm in an upward part of that cycle, I'm very aware that I will feel also down somewhat soon in the future. And when I'm in a down moment, I know that the good moments will also come. And in a way, that does help me to feel calmer in situations and allowing them just to happen. But of course, sometimes, and especially if you are feeling and experiencing a lot of strong emotions when you are in the down phase, there seems to be those moments where we just forget everything, where we are fully into our child self's perspective, or one of our child self's perspective, one of the parts that are talking here, that are here and that need to be seen. And lately, the exercise on my end is when I am in those moments, I've been really trying to figure out, what does this child need? What is she talking about? What is she feeling? More than the story itself, that it is indeed interesting to observe in more logical adult eyes. What is this child feeling? And these raw emotions that are just here, that indeed, when we do look at them with more care, we can start to unravel and to see that the logic behind these stories is indeed like the logic of a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old. It makes no sense. And, you know, when we are in these neutral moments of this spiral, or the good moments, I do this a lot. I don't know if any of you does this, but I watch a lot of therapy reels on Instagram. I consume that type of information. I also knew a bit of that information from my studies. I work as a nurse also. So I'm aware of that, and I like to apply that to myself. It's one of the things I like the most. I like to think a lot about where I'm at and to reflect about my path. How can I improve? How can I change my life for the better? And when we are in the upwards in, or neutral moments, we can indeed absorb a lot of information, but it's like just studying. You're not necessarily practicing it, right? And it seems so easy when you're in a good state of mind. It's like, of course I'm so loving to myself. Of course, like, of course that now I will accept my child, my inner child, in whatever way possible, because yes, I understand logically what's going on. But then when you are embodying that part of yourself that just comes to the surface with such strength, it's so hard to connect again to that logical part that it's like, wait, I remembered I read something about this. I remember there were some techniques that I wanted to try next time this would happen. And yeah, being next time this would happen, the key here, because indeed we need these down moments, these moments where we are in the lower part of the spiral to really prove to ourselves that we have changed, to really make significant change in our lives, and to really change our core beliefs the best way we can. Because otherwise, how would we do that? If we're always feeling good, there's no reason. There's a lot of parts of us that we aren't even aware they exist when we are feeling good, and the other way around too. So when we are feeling down, the work, the exercise of connecting this conscious part to this unconscious part, like connecting all parts of your being, your adult child with your child's self. The adult child, well, it's an adult child, yes. The adult self with the child self. It's like literally bringing full integration, and you can feel how tough it can be, but also how the smallest changes start compounding and start becoming bigger and bigger, and then suddenly you, after you've gone maybe through like 10 of these cycles, or maybe sometimes even less, because some of these changes can be so profound, you look back and you see like, wow, this is actually going somewhere, and I wouldn't be able to change if I wouldn't have any bad moments. um, we need those bad moments to prove to ourselves we are different, to show care in the times of need. That's like one of the things that we say to see if we have good friends. It's, are our friends here with us in the times of need? Are they here for the good and bad moments? And so we kind of need to do that to ourselves too. We need to bring our positivity, our logical strategies to these moments of when we're feeling so down, instead of beating ourselves up, because that just causes more separations between our consciousness, and it continues this fragmentation of our being, and creates more trauma. I mean, it's literally that, right? And so yeah, this was part of something that I realized, that I felt it was very profound, and it became a bit more cemented while going through these more challenging moments. And it's a long one, or at least I'm defining it as being a long one. Maybe it's not that long. I've been like this for like 2 weeks. And maybe a bit more actually. But it's okay. It's whatever time it takes, and it's literally taking care of our wounds. So there's not a lot of negatives around this if we really think about it. I mean, of course, feeling bad does not feel good, but it can be so healing indeed. It's I'm not romanticizing it, but also I'm allowing myself to receive pats where I need to receive. Not everything is bad, and we can also see bad things and the good moments of the upward spiral. So upward spiral. That was a word. So I guess this is what's happening, and yeah, this was a reflection on how good, or in this case, bad downward moments in the spiral are so essential for us to evolve as human beings and for us to really become the version we're always saying we want to be or that we are when we are in the good upward spiral moments. So, leaving this here for whoever needs to hear it, and also for me to listen to this probably when I'm on my next cycle, or maybe, well, the emotional cycle, not my period. But also in my coincide. But yeah, leaving this there, going on a tangent. Let me know your thoughts. Have you thought about this? Was this like made it click in any way? Let me know. So yeah, this is all the creativity we're getting for now. So, well, this is my channel, so I'm doing whatever I want anyway. Thank you for being there though. I'll see you around.